Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh.
And Patty XRP.
And today we're going to be going over Songbird Finance, which is the next phase in the EXFI platform. And we're going to be going over the airdrop of the EXFI token that is going to be coming to all Songbird holders on January 1st. So this is now going to be the first real token to be released from the Flare Finance protocol. And right at the drop, it's going to have 3 use cases that everyone is going to be able to use. So this is not just a token that's just out there as a ticket for another token you might receive in 8 months. This is a token that actually has utility right out the gate at very low risk, medium risk, and higher risk ways to use it to earn yield. So Patty, let's jump in here on what is going to be available to everyone who is receiving the EXFI token on January 1st.
All right. Yeah. So to start off here, we're going to see the distribution take place on January 1st. I don't know at what time. I'm sure Flare Finance will put out a tweet once the distribution has been completed. We're having 40 million EXFI tokens airdrop to eligible Songbird and Wrap Songbird holders. If you had your Songbird within the EXFI V2 platform during the snapshot, I imagine you're going to have to claim it through the EXFI platform somewhere. So I'm not entirely sure what Flare Finance is doing for that, if it'll be a separate page or just kind of added on like when you claim FTSO rewards. I'm going to have to do that because that's where my Songbird was during the snapshot. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Additionally, we're going to see 40 million EXFI go to the APY Cloud Yield Reserve, which is used to pay out the minimum 5% APY in the governance staking pool when that launches, which won't be immediately here. And it's only used if it's coming through at less than 5% to make sure that it hits that minimum level. Additionally, the foundation reserves are going to be 20 million EXFI. I don't know, how quickly those will come out of the foundation, if they'll be sitting there for a while. So we'll have to see on that. And then additionally, the team allocation is 10 million EXFI, so it's like 9% of the total supply. Nothing crazy. And just so you know, based on the YFLR distribution, which is on Flare Finance within Flare Network in the future, they do have a vesting period for the team and investors portion. So basically, they get it released over a period of 1 year, and it's released monthly. So if you got about 10 million EXFI being delivered over a year, it'd be like roughly 833,000 EXFI coming to the team per month. So just be wary of that. And then if we go back into this, we can talk about some different ways you're going to be able to use it. So one, this token does act as a fee replacement token on a lot of the platforms, including Flare X. So let's say you're swapping from Canary Dollars to Songbird, but you would prefer to pay the fee with EXFI tokens rather than the token you're swapping with. So in that scenario, Canary Dollars, you have the ability to do that. Additionally, you're going to be able to solo stake EXFI in Flare Farm to earn SFIN, which is the primary governance token. And this asset has an 11,000 total supply. 1,000 goes to the foundation, and then 10,000 is distributed over 2 years through Flare Farm and the Flare Loans platforms. So that would be either participating in the stability pool, staking LP tokens on Flare Farm, or just staking EXFI solely there. If you do stake EXFI directly in Flare Farm, I imagine the payout's going to be less than if you're a liquidity provider and stake your LP tokens because you're taking on much less risk. So the payout should be lower. And additionally, I imagine that pool is going to have a lot of people staking EXFI there. Your tokens won't be used for anything, so you don't have to worry about like when you go to pull them out that they're not going to be there. The only risk is going to be like smart contract hacks and stuff like that, which every single platform faces those kind of risks. Additionally, you're going to be able to use EXFI to basically as collateral to take out a loan in Canary Dollars on Flare Loans. And the thing about this is the EXFI token, once it starts trading, which it looks like it could be on around 10 exchanges from some of the stuff the team has put out. Additionally, there will be a liquidity pool, I imagine, between EXFI and Canary Dollars on Flare X. However, in the early days, when these assets come out, they're definitely volatile. So, be careful with any kind of loan position you're going to take out with EXFI in the beginning for sure. And then in the future with some of the stuff, so Flare Drop, which is the NFT marketplace, you're going to be able to participate in auctions and purchase NFTs with EXFI. You're going to be able to use it in Flare Mutual. And when they get the full decentralization and Flare Finance governance rolled out, you'll be able to stake it in the governance staking pool to earn that minimum 5% yield, which ranges up to a maximum of 35%. Additionally, when you're staked in the governance staking pool, it allows you to put through proposals or vote on them as well. So quite a few things you're going to be able to do. If you haven't used like the EXFI V2 platform yet, this is an opportunity if you get the EXFI token where you can just directly stake it in Flare Farm, and you don't have to know about impermanent loss or any of that other stuff, as the tokens aren't used for anything. It's solely to fairly distribute the token of SFIN over time. So
this is really nice that we have this canary network, Songbird, that Flare Finance is able to build Songbird Finance on. And we're able to get a gist of how to use the Flare Finance platform when it eventually goes live on Flare Network. We're able to now test it with these airdrop tokens that are meant to be utilized. They're not just meant to be just given out as free value. They're there to be utilized. And there's multiple utilities with these tokens that are coming to you. So now's the time where you could get familiar with the platform, get familiar with DeFi, get familiar with liquidity providing, get familiar with staking it, and also know that 40 million EXFI that goes into the APY cloud, think of that as like the DAO's treasury, because ultimately the Songbird Finance and Flare Finance are going to be community governed, just like all these networks are going to be. They're going to be community governed. And ultimately, the plan from the white paper with Flare Finance is it's going to be ultimately a DAO that's controlled by the community, governed by the community, just as Flare Network is going to be governed by the community. So we have to understand this moving forward. And one other thing, Patty, I just do want to bring up is that trading wise, there is going to be a market initially on Flare X, which is going to be one of the main decentralized exchanges on Songbird and then also on Flare Finance, on Flare Network, where you'll be able to swap back and forth from EXFI to Canary Dollar and then from Canary Dollar to Songbird. So you don't have to necessarily have to count on all these centralized exchanges, this account here, are they listing it, are they listing it? You have everything you need pretty much right here on the blockchain network, the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. And so we're going to have this 2-week period here starting January 1st when all the DFlare will be running out of the Flare Farm pool and the stability pool. So all of that will have been distributed. They'll recapitalize those pools plus any additional Flare Farm pools like the solo EXFI one, or for some of the new liquidity pools coming, you'll be able to earn SFIN there. And then also users in the stability pool will be able to earn SFIN by basically allowing their Canary dollars to pay back bad debt over time. So that'll be coming January 10th. It looks like we're going to see the Halborn, Trail of Bits, and Certic audits. So they've been audited by 3 different entities. These are all pretty big names in the the blockchain auditing space. So that'll be really nice to see that. And then on January 15th, they're going to officially redub the whole thing as Songbird Finance, as them ready to go and kind of start deploying the rest of the modules, which includes an NFT marketplace, an insurance protocol, the wrapping protocol. They have a mining protocol where basically Bitcoin and Ethereum miners can get into a mining pool where any ETH or like Bitcoin mined would basically be swapped for something on Songbird or Flare in the future. So that could be F assets, that could be Spark, Songbird. So we'll see all that stuff coming out in the second half of January. You're going to be able to start earning SFIN coming up in 2 days now. So right at the beginning of the new year. Also on the EXFI airdrop, I imagine if you're getting it in your Bifrost wallet, it's probably just going to show up there. I feel like Bifrost probably has already set it up to where once you get some in your wallet, it'll automatically show. Otherwise, you may have to add the custom token address. The way that I would go about that is either pull it directly from something Flare Finance tweeted or in their Discord, or you can go to Songbird Explorer and, check out what tokens have been sent to your account as well. So any last thoughts here, Mickey, before we move on to the other topic?
Yeah, if you are using MetaMask, you are most likely going to have to do that. You would have to import the contract address, and like Patty said, make sure you get it from a reliable source. All it means is you're adding that token address so that the wallet can read the token.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the token's going to be there regardless if you add the address or not. It will just appear when you add the token address, but it's likely that Bifrost will probably have it there already. But the last thoughts here is that Flare Finance and Songbird Finance, what they're building here, you see real products being built that are able to be utilized. And I know this is considered experimental finance, but they are showing development. And now we're finally seeing the first token come along, because up until now, it's just been Songbird and the Canary Dollar. So as we see EXFI come along, which is the equivalent of YFlare on Flare Finance on the Flare network, and then we're going to have SFIN. We're going to start to see this DeFi ecosystem rapidly expand. And then when all the F assets come in, this is the basis and the infrastructure for a lot of the DeFi on Songbird and Flare. It's not all of it, but you could see that the development is happening. It's not just words or promises of 8 months later, we're going to build something. It's here now, and it's been built for the last year. So it's nice to see that we're making progress, and now we're finally able to test these things out. This is here for us as the community to get familiar with the protocols, get familiar with DeFi. If you're not familiar, you could put in some free assets that you earned in an airdrop and test how a liquidity pool works. There's a market taker side, so you could just use the liquidity pool just to swap back and forth between assets as a trader, or you could be a market maker and want to provide liquidity to earn fees and then earn those additional SFIN Flare Farm rewards. So there's a lot of different opportunities here and different strategies that you could deploy. We also have a Patreon group that we dive deeper into these strategies on best how to minimize your risk and maximize your reward. If you're interested in that, we have a link to the description below. So let's move on to the next step here.
Yep. So the other thing we wanted to cover today is Panther Protocol. So currently with Panther Protocol, and this is a Flare and Songbird partner, it's a layer 2 project that's going to be integrating with both blockchains. They're about to launch their minimum viable product on top of Polygon, and the token generation event is planned to occur on January 4th. So in about 6 days now. With that, they're basically having a DAO launch vote that's going on right now to officially set that in motion for people that have been able to already buy the token. So with that, we can kind of see some key metrics about where it's going to be starting out. The total supply of ZKP is 1 billion tokens, and this is distributed over the course of 12 years. The initial circulating supply is 9.3% of it, so 93 million ZKP tokens. The circulating market cap at launch will be $41 million. And this is going to be issued on Ethereum. So if this is something that you've been following along with us and you're looking to get into, it's kind of unclear what's the easiest path. Also, we'll have to see. I think this is a pretty highly anticipated project where there could be a lot of people trying to buy in the early days. I will say just look at other and highly sought after projects and how their tokens have launched at the beginning. Sometimes on day one, you'll see just a huge burst, crazy gains for the early people that got in with the public sale, and then they'll sell over the corresponding couple of weeks. You can look at the token Credo QRDO that shows a really perfect instance. Additionally, the same kind of thing happened with Songbird when it got listed on BitTrue. So you can kind of look at those. We may have a period, though, before it gets listed on any exchanges of a couple days. The team will make announcements on any centralized exchange listings in the future. However, once these tokens are delivered to users that have already bought in through the public sale or the private sale, they have the ability to go ahead and list it on something like Uniswap or SushiSwap on Ethereum. Yes, this would require you to use Ethereum gas fees to get the token. However, it may provide you with an opportunity to get in before too many people are buying on a centralized exchange. Now, maybe it flops out the gate. I don't really know what will happen, but that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. There's a website that's pretty solid called dextools.io where you can come in here and search for tons of different tokens and see where they're listed. So this is like an NFT gaming project for Bytes. If I come and type that in, you can see that. No, I keep messing up by hitting enter, but it'll show you pairings that drop down. And so there's one like on SushiSwap and Uniswap. So that could be a way to search for ZKP being listed. I don't know if the team's going to come out and say, hey, look, somebody put it on Uniswap or somebody put it on SushiSwap. It may be on us to kind of figure that out. So that's what's going on right now. And then from there, after the token generation event, they will be starting to launch the beginnings of the protocol, which will include things like being able to mint the private Z assets, which will earn you ZKP for doing so. They'll have the Panther wallet out and they'll get all that going. And we'll talk about some of those tools more here in the future. It's just going to be on Polygon, the project to start. And then from there, they'll start branching out to their other partners, including Songbird and Flare. So really looking forward to this one. We have a ton of videos on the channel, I think like 5, including an interview with their CTO, if you want to learn more about this project.
Yeah, I just want to throw in there that I know a lot of people hear privacy coins and they instantly think, and we've had some comments in the past on a YouTube channel from some people who really didn't understand what Panther is trying to do. It's combining privacy and compliance, and it's solving a major problem in DeFi for institutions coming in. They're going to want some sense of privacy maneuvering in DeFi, but at the same time, they're also going to want to deal with compliance, KYC, AML, dark pools, or liquidity pools. So this is why Flare has partnered with them, and I think this is a very special partnership, and they recently extended their partnership in November, and they put out a blog. So Flare doesn't partner with just anybody. They partnered with Alliance Block, and they partnered with Panther, both which are layer 2 protocols. And I think that's the next wave of projects and protocols we're going to see in 2022 that really take off are these layer 2s, because ZKP itself, the token, can be moved on to multiple other EVM blockchains, and the protocol Z assets can be used on multiple other blockchains like Songbird and Flare. So this is going to be the next wave. Not everything is a layer 1 token and is the only investment opportunity. These layer 2s show great promise. And what Panther's doing is solving a problem that has yet to be solved in the industry and is going to be needed to be solved once institutions, hedge funds, and other family offices and wealth management come into DeFi. They're going to want some sense of privacy, but with compliance. And that's the power of zero knowledge proofs, something David Schwartz has talked about time and time again, how that's something he's really excited about, where you could have privacy, transparency, and compliance all together in one.
Great rundown there, Mickey. I don't have anything else to add. So I don't know if you have something before we wrap up, but
just the other thing, last thing I want to add was the other partnership that Flare has with Alliance Block. And I know King Solomon has talked about this in the past, even prior to the partnership with Flare. They're doing a lot of exciting things, building with Flare on the Songbird Network. They're going to do a founders fund, which is going to be kind of like a DAO. We're waiting for more information on that. They've also designed this liquidity, liquidity as a service, which is going
liquidity mining as a service.
Liquidity mining as a service, that's it. Which is going to allow for users to be able to minimize their impermanent loss risk, right? So that's something that a lot of people are, fearful of when you provide liquidity. Well, am I going to get impermanent loss if the price shoots up, right? Am I going to lose out? Or if the price shoots down, or if there's slippage. Alliance Block has created some really cutting edge designs with their new technologies and algorithms that is going to minimize that. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be building on Songbird. And this is the beauty of having a canary network like Songbird. So these layer 2 projects can build on them, test out everything before then they build on the main enterprise institutional grade platform, Flare. And this is why the last thing I want to touch on here, Patty, is Flare has taken a while to launch because what they're building is so much bigger than what was initially planned. They're literally connecting a state connector system to 5 different blockchain networks, including Algorand, which there is some rumors or whispers of more than just state connector system being built there, whether it be actual applications built on top of these actual state connector bridges, and we'll have cross-chain liquidity to the next level. And we're starting to move into a world of DeFi 2.0, where we're going to see even greater DeFi protocols than what we see now. And for example, yesterday we talked about $10 billion is locked in Anchor Protocol's money market account. It's possible we see up to $1 trillion locked in DeFi by the end of 2022. So this is a completely different market we're in, and we're starting to see these protocols rapidly expand. We're starting to see utility take place on all these different networks. It's coming to the XRP ledger. It's coming to Songbird. It's coming to Flare. We're no longer in 2017. We're no longer in 2018. This is a completely different market. If you want to get left behind in 2017 and 2018, you could stay there. But for the rest of us, we're moving forward and onward with the new developments that are taking place at warp speed. So I'm Mickey B. Fresh.
Patty XRP.
And we're out.
See y'all.